Hi, welcome to a day 19 of my cleanse. And today I realized something. Brute force and strength, like brute force strength and psychological strength, are not the same thing. One can push you through a moment, and the other one can change your life. All right, that's what we're talking about today. And if you are new here, hi, hey, how you doing? How you doing? Happy to have you. Happy to have you. This is for me to look back on because you feel when you've made a decision that is going to change the root of your entire life. And for me, that was going into a 40-day cleanse. And this is not just any 40-day cleanse. I invested about $2,000 for a private coach, a private accountability, the produce, the enzymes, the clays you use, everything you use. This I have been researching for years. And mind you, I have been fasting since I was 17, probably even earlier than that, but intentionally fasting for spiritual reasons, emotional regularity, all of those things to keep addictions at bay, to kind of reset your homeostasis, reset your. Hopefully, the mic's not picking up. My dog is quite parched right now. Reset your nervous system, reset your palate, get back to your grassroots of who you are. That's why I fast. That's why I've been so attracted to fasting. Yes, you have a side effect of lower inflammation, weight loss, waist loss, all that stuff. Okay? So yes, as I said, I'm going to be showing up every day during my cleanse, and we are in almost the third week. So the protocol is quite strict. You can't mess it up, especially if you're an overthinker or ADHD or OCD or any type of neurospicy. You need structure. You don't want to have to think about things. You'll get overwhelmed too. You'll get overwhelmed too quick. So that's why I hired a coach. That's why I have a private group. That's why I'm finally ready to say, please hold my hand. I would love my hand to be held. Oh, please. Even the clammy hands, I'll take that if you're leading me somewhere. Okay? You can't do it by yourself, Miss Independent. And I have been independent since I was 16, 17 years old. That's when I started paying rent. Anywho, I think it's so important to know the difference, especially if you've just been accustomed to being in survival mode. You are more familiar with the white knuckle, the brute force of things, doing things because you have to, doing things because your livelihood and your survival depended on it. So brute force, which kind of coincides with like your physical strength, showing up, working harder, working longer. Brute strength is the energy to like push. It's willpower. It's grit. I'm tired, but I'm going to do it anyway. It's gritty. It's gritty. And if you've gone to college and have taken more than 20 credits, you know what I'm talking about. Because you had to. Because the money was running out. So you had to overload, you crazy person. That's why colleges don't go over 19 credits anymore, because crazy people like that have just been abusing the system. Yeah, I see you. I see you. So examples like that is pushing through a hard workout, which my athletes, especially college athletes, I can relate to you. You know what it's like to detach your mind from what you're doing. That works in that arena. How is it working in your relationships? How is it working in your social skills? How is it working in your friendships? Please leave a comment if you find the correlation. This means like I'm gonna say no to food one more time. I'm just white knuckling a hard date. Brute force is powerful, but it's not sustainable. It will burn you out fast, especially women with our hormones. When we are going too hard for too long because we think it depends all on us, that's when we start borrowing energy from our kidneys, borrowing energy from our liver, the things that already have a job, and you're adding more of a load to it because you just got to get through and you don't know how to ask for help, you silly goose. That's all right. I love you and I am you. All right, next we got psychological strength. Now, psychological strength is the ability to stay steady when it gets uncomfortable. It's emotional control. It's staying calm while your mind is screaming, "We need that Twinkie. We need him to text me now. We need that validation. We need our mind is going through the patterns that we have trained it to do. We need this now or we're gonna die." Getting to neutrality when you're constantly used to a swing of extremes. You're all in or you're all out, ADHD. You're obsessive in this one focus and you can't see anything else, OCD. All of it, all of it. So some examples that I've noticed with that is with psychological strength is sitting with your cravings. Do I still have cravings still on day 19th of not having food? Yeah, I'm a recovering food addict. Yeah. I feel like cigarette smokers, even though if they separate their identity and say, "Hey, I don't do that. I'm not a smoker. I don't do that. I don't eat past when I'm full." You still have the you still got you still got them chills that go up your spine. Am I lying? Am I lying? Woo, all it takes is a smell. I was like, woo, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And I've abstained from things that people have never would have imagined to abstain from. I've abstained from sex for years. I've abstained from sugar on a year or two. I've abstained from sodas from almost teenage year. I did love root beer growing up, but as soon as I started noticing documentaries and understanding how things are made and how the chemical reaction happens in your body, like you can't unsee that stuff. I've been vegan for years on end. I've been plant-based. I also did a stint of carnivore. It's testing these different philosophies. I like Buddhism. I like Christianity. I like Catholicism. What works, what gets channeled through my body and I produce from what I interpret from all these ways of learning is solely up to me. And how I choose to express that and embody that and live that is up to me. So I take information from everywhere. This is all we're here to experience. We're here to test. Okay. So not quitting when motivation disappears. This is choosing long term over your current mood. Some people say it's, what's it called? Instant gratification, delaying gratification. It's psychological strength is quiet. It doesn't look dramatic, but it's unstoppable. You can feel, you can feel when somebody is about that life. Real recognize real. And sometimes our blinders are on and we forget what real looks like because we've been conditioned to think, oh, this means you're real. This money means you're real. This status means you're real. Your celebrity means you're real. This is coming from a class clown, a performer, a thespian, an athlete. I'm used to having audiences, a Leo. And you're telling me that I can't, you can be dramatic and theatrical in other ways, in how you dress and how you express yourself in videos. But when you're going face to face with circumstances of life, how calm can you be? And I'm not talking repressing and I'm not talking suppressing. This is like an embodied calm of knowing everything's going to be all right. I'm okay. Everything has so far and will continue to be for my greatest good. That divorce that you didn't expect, oh my gosh, that stung, girl. Ooh, that transformed you into something. But in hindsight, it's like, oh my gosh, sometimes we have to get the scales torn from our eyes. And sometimes we like to keep them there. So it's a little more aggressive with the removal, but it's all towards purity. It's all to get you lighter to the light. However long you decide to stay in suffering or darkness is completely up to you. That's the law of free will. I'm trying to get in, trying to get out, get that baby till in, get that lesson, and get out. Okay? I'm not trying to soak anymore. I've been soaking for so long, and that's why your life looks exactly the same as last year, as last year, as last year, as last year, last year. Even though we are evolving out of this brute force, I have to, it's up to me. It does have its position in your life. It still can be a strategy. It's still useful because brute strength in short moments, it's the first push. It's when you need momentum. I had to use brute strength to start this cleanse. Day 1 through 5, I needed brute force. I needed to extra communicate with my coach. I needed to be clear. Okay, I'm doing this. I'm pulling the lever. I'm not going back. I'm investing this money, brute force. I'm throwing this money because I know a part of me hates to see resources be wasted. So I'm going to bet on myself and do it. Yes, the first week when the headaches hit, when the cravings peaked, when you wanted immediate relief, you just want to just let me get a taste. Just let me get a taste. Nobody would know. Not even the dog is looking at me. Let me just get a quick little hit. Let me just this is the last this is the hey, this is the last time, I promise. I promise. Just one more. I just want to remember how it tastes. Why? Why? When you already identify with the person who doesn't do that. Brute force can get it started. Brute force, I think, has gotten me this far. Now, when you need psychological strength, when those emotions that you've buried for years start surfacing up, when those feelings that you weren't ready to face, when those people that you weren't ready to face start literally people start popping up, pop-up gang in your everyday life. I'm telling you, I've ran in or have crossed paths with people from my past I haven't seen in years or months, and I will randomly see them across the store at the grocery store. And I'm like, oh, 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 oh. Am I ready to say? Stop being weird. Stop being weird, you know? Are you ready for that? Are you ready for the uncertainties that come? Are you ready for you betting your 401k on a program, a self-identity experiment to get out of your own way? Are you willing to bet on yourself like that? Some people got the nervous system for it, and some people are just crazy enough to just jump in and build the parachute on the way down. So when you need psychological strength, this is like the real transformation when you start shifting over. Just how when your body shifts over from burning glucose to fat. Mindy talks about this all the time. I'm saying that like that's my homegirl. Water fast Mindy, fast like a girl Mindy. You know Mindy. It's uncomfortable, that adjustment. Going from solids to liquids, it's uncomfortable. And then your body starts like expecting it, you know? Psychological strength is for like the long game. It's what you need when you don't have any adrenaline left. When you can't work another shift, when you can't even do more. You can't physically work more. This is when you really tap into your spiritual side. You know, we have an animal side and we have a spiritual side. And I think this is a correlation between the two. That brute force is that animal, that hunter, you know, doing what we need to do to survive for the tribe. And then that psychological is our spiritual self sitting with us. Like day 19 isn't exciting, but it's repetitive. This is where your mind starts negotiating. I had a negotiation earlier today, and you would think these things would be gone by now. But you've done your own pattern, you've done your own addictions for 2 decades, but you're expecting everything to turn around in 2 weeks. Yeah. No, sweetie, that's not how lasting change, that's not how lasting change is created. Psychological strength keeps you going. Some people call it your why, some people call it just you're so sick and tired of being sick and tired that you can't possibly relive the same year again. You rather die. And I hope that doesn't sound too morbid, but that's kind of where it is. So why psychological strength matters? Let me take a little sip. Hold on. I'm getting gooey. Got a little tea. Thank you. Why psychological strength matters more, as we touched on brute force, you have to expend energy, and energy can run out. You're transferring it to something else. Psychological strength is based on your identity and who you've accepted yourself to be from here on out. That's more of a pulling in. Brute force is more of a pushing out. If I only rely on brute force, I'll always need a crisis to change. I'll always need things to get so bad that I must force the shift. And mind you, that's the pattern I grew accustomed to. That's the barometer I set it at. That's the thermostat. Oh, it got a little too cold. Let's turn the engines up. Let's go. Let's go. But if I build psychological strength, I can change in normal life. Things don't have to be extreme. You don't have to wait for a breakup. You don't have to wait to be handcuffed to a radiator because your addictions have gotten such out of control. Brute force builds moments, psychological strength builds a person. I don't know if you too ready for me. I'm kidding, but I'm like, bro. Your psychological channels start opening up when you're not face deep in Alfredo sauce. When your body's trying to recognize all the things you just put in it, these deep fried oils and all that stuff. Mind you, I had a craving for some today. A deep fried sushi. I had a craving for deep fried sushi with all kind of ranch and buttercream sauce and barbecue sauce, slathered with something with some brisket on top. Oh gosh, yeah, I had the thought, but I just see it as, oh, that's a funny little thought. That's funny. I'm in too deep, and probably physically, I would suffer eating right now. There's a whole protocol after this juice cleanse of reintroducing food back into your body. We are getting to the crevices of what's in your colon at this point. A shape came out of me today. You know those like curling wands? If you look at it at the side eye, it looks almost like a toy that you may use for your bum bum. Not saying I have any education on it, but I live in this world and sometimes information just pops up around you. You know those hair curling, my girls would know, and they look like lumps, like on the lump. Yeah. I'm like, oh, that's not. I don't think that's food from this like decade. I've never seen that shape come out of my body. What a blessing! What a gift! It's all here to have fun. And the group I'm in, they are releasing in all types of ways. And I have people in my group that are from. It's a small community of like 7 or 8 of us, getting personalized like daily plans, and it's just everybody's releasing in their own way, like emotionally and physically. So, yeah. So today with my cravings, and I'm telling you, as I was chopping up some fresh chicken for my dog, I was like, okay, I don't need more physical strength. I needed like mental stability. I needed to stop reacting to discomfort like I was in danger. And that's what gives your body the signals of being in danger. This heightened just overwhelm of, oh my gosh, I need to, this will be this will solve all my problems eating this. This will solve all my problems. No, train yourself out of that. It's just a passing thing. It's just a pattern that we're unlearning, and it gets more quiet. And you've probably gotten used to bargaining with yourself. You've probably gotten used to eating out of boredom, or when you're irritable, or when you're tired, or you're fatigued, or when just those cravings of your favorite food or what you used to get as a kid. Oh yeah, those are coming up. I saw a box of peanut butter crunch. I sent it. I will risk the shredding of the roof of my mouth for a handful of that. And then instead of just torturing myself, I'm like, oh yeah, my coach said when I crave this, I just need some more juice. That's my body saying I just need more calories. And I tell you, after you drink your juice, you feel better. You don't have heartburn. You don't have indigestion. You're not bloated. Your body is thanking you for the rush of nutrients you just gave it. And then them damn cravings go away. Like, oh my gosh, I almost threw away my progress, my momentum for these little minor just discomfort. And I think that's what's going to separate a lot of people moving forward is how do you handle, how do you look at discomfort? How do you sit into it? So when I want to cave, I give myself a few minutes. I go on a walk, I go on infrared sauna, things I know that will be stimulating to my body to trying to shift the state of my body. I don't decide out of the peak of emotion. I'm like, okay, if I was starving, let me check in with my stomach. Stomach, are you starving? Nah, girl, we down here doing some work, girl. We are doing work down here. Keep giving us what need to keep getting those enzymes. It's breaking up everything in my digestive system. I don't decide in the peak of emotion, and I'm a very excitable person, especially when it comes to commitments to other people. Oh yeah, girl, I can help you. I would love to help you. Then I'm like, oh my God, girl, you did too much. So what you do in your 10 minutes, drink some water, just breathe, walk, take a hot shower, journal a few lines, and tell yourself, I don't trust these urgent thoughts because my spirit doesn't speak in urgency and I'm not in danger. So this is just like a muscle memory thing and just leave it at that. Like, oh, when you can name it, you can really let go of it. Oh, this was just muscle memory. That's okay. I don't really want that. What I want is a balanced nervous system. What I want is to be on such purity in my energy that's all that comes into my space is pure energy. People who have pure hearts, pure bodies, pure souls, and that's going to look different, but you can recognize it, right? What did we say in the beginning? Real recognize real. So, day 19 is teaching me that strength isn't how hard you can push, which the matriarchy of my family, that's, we should get that tattooed on our head. We don't need nobody. We could do it. Aging for no reason. Aging quicker for no reason. Day 19 is teaching me that the strength isn't how hard you can push, which I lived so many times. It's how calmly you can stay committed. Hmm. I used to fear being too calm because I got things in life from my personality, from being light in certain situations, from comedy, from humor, from wit, all that, which is all performance, essentially. My biggest fear in doing something like this, like, what if I'm not funny anymore? What if people don't find me funny anymore? What if I don't find me funny anymore? What if I'm just this serious monk type now? I don't even think that's in your DNA. I don't even think that's in your DNA. So, how calmly can you stay committed? Where do you need more psychological strength right now? Food, emotions, relationships, discipline, or consistency? Those are all pillars that we can do a little better at, right? Right? On this process of evolution. So that's what I got for you. I love it. As I'm getting more and more accustomed to this YouTube, I'm hoping you can leave here with some just little nuggets to just get your mind thinking of a person who's really going through the process, not showing the end process that I've gotten accustomed to. I've won national championships, I've been sponsored an athlete, I've gotten scholarships, I've gotten all that type of stuff, and I've never documented the process of undoing to become. So I hope this video finds you well. I love you, and I'm praying for you, and I believe in you, and I know we got things to do. We got people to see. We got people to help. We got sisters who need us in their circle, and we need them. This is part of me calling my community in. How are they gonna find you, Breezy? You just go to Costco in the gym. How are they gonna find you? Let's start here. And I hope this becomes part of my selfless service. And I hope whatever needs to get channeled through me does. My job is to get better at communicating. My job is to get better at relaying the lessons I've learned and to refine my skills in my teaching and get out of the way and let what needs to come through come through. So thank you for sitting with me. I love you, and I will see you tomorrow for day 20. All right. Have a good night here from here in Idaho. Okay. Bye now.